if you watched any of my videos that I put out during the playoffs, you know how highly I think of the Cincinnati Bengals defense and what they were able to do during the playoffs. At one point in time during the AFC playoffs through their 3 games, after they had beat the Chiefs, I believe they had given up 18 points, maybe 20 points in the second half of those 3 games. Now, I'm not talking about total points allowed in 3 games, but my point is, once you've seen what a team is trying to do in the first half, once you've seen how they're trying to attack you, or once you've taken something away, then you get an opportunity to make an adjustment and counter them, take something away from them. The Bengals defense, from a coaching staff and a player alignment and assignment standpoint, they were the best in the playoffs at that, at making those adjustments during the game. Look at what they did to Kansas City in the second half. Absolutely shut them down after pretty much being unable to stop them completely in the first half. And look at this draft. You have 6 players drafted, 5 of them defensive players, 3 of them listed at safety. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Tyson Anderson, but what I do know is these 2 guys right here, Daxton Hill and Cam Taylor-Britt, they're listed at safety. They can play anywhere. They can play any. Jesse Bates is capable of playing anywhere as well, but he's generally the middle of the field free safety in their cover 3 looks and their 1-high looks. Daxton Hill, Cam Taylor-Britt, they got Mike Hilton too, who used to be on the Steelers. They have a very versatile set of defenders. Zach Carter from Florida, they list him at D tackle. It's more like a D end, if you ask me. I mean, he'll play in a 5 technique. He'll play in a 3 technique. In their defense, I see him fitting in with Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson. Now, they don't have him listed, very high. I mean, they got Cam Sample and Sam Hubbard ahead of him, but I think the guy's athletic, big frame, attacks people on the edge. And then they've got Joseph Asai, who I don't think played a down last year, did he? Is it possible that this defense is going to be better in 2022? Right now they got Dax Hill listed as left corner, Von Bell and Jesse Bates the starters, and Awuzie as a backup. They got Eli Apple listed as third. So you can kind of take this depth chart, with a grain of salt in terms of where these guys are. But just look at the names as a group. That DB group rivals the Ravens. And some of you guys listening may not like me saying that, but Jesse Bates is as good as it gets. Von Bell, incredibly versatile. Plays in the box in their nickel groups. Plays really well no matter where they put him, if you ask me. I like everything they do on defense. They're not scared to be light on defense, and that's kind of the trend in the AFC North for whatever reason. The Browns have gone light, and smaller inside linebackers playing a lot of nickel looks. The Bengals certainly did that. Now, when you're talking about facing the Chiefs and the Rams, you're talking about a shit ton of 11 personnel. So you have to be a nickel, right? You have to. You can't survive unless you're the Seattle Seahawks back with the Legion of Boom. You can't survive in your base defense against 11 personnel. You just can't at any level of football now. It's very rare to see a defense that can do that, right? This defense right here is incredibly multiple. They got them listed as base 4-3. A lot of times they'll walk up Jermaine Pratt or one of the other inside linebackers, not Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson's generally the Mike. They'll walk up their Sam and Will and play like a 6-1 on Madden. And college football, they call it a 6-1. Whatever you want to call it. Some people call it a 6-1 Lightning. But it's a badass, versatile group of players. I think it's entirely possible they may be better. They still got DJ Reader, who I think incredibly high level. He played great against the Titans' run game in the playoffs. I thought he was extremely underrated. Not many people talked about him. Even after that game, I thought he did a great job. I did a video on him if you want to go check it out. Maybe I'll put a link in the description or above. B.J. Hill, solid D-tackle. Hendrickson and Hubbard, you know what I think of those guys. Adding Joseph Asai, hopefully he's completely healthy. Zachary Carter to that group just makes them better, if you ask me. This guy right here is tremendously underrated. If you want to go ahead and go look up PFF bullshit, pass stats, or pass ratings, you go right ahead. That guy can play football. Proved it in the Rams game, playing against the run. Now, he was unblocked on a lot of situations, but takes great angles, smart, has an interception on his record against Lamar Jackson from 2020, mind you. Great defense, solid fundamental. Is it possible that they got better with this group of guys? Primarily these three right here. I'm not going to pretend that I know a whole lot about this guy from North Dakota State. I know it's a great football program there. Nor do I know a whole lot about this guy from Toledo. I know Coastal Carolina. I just finished watching probably an hour and a half of film of Isaiah Likely and Grayson McCall and the guys at Coastal Carolina. That is a unique program that they have there. Option team. Grayson McCall is going to be a pro quarterback. Got right now, I believe, for 2023 draft, listed somewhere between 6, 8, and 10 in terms of quarterback. Solid player. Maybe he could stay at Coastal Carolina another year, I guess. But I think through his career right now, 54 touchdowns, 6 interceptions through 2 years. I think the first year was a redshirt, but I could be wrong. Daxton Hill, Cam Taylor-Britt, Zachary Carter, 3 solid additions to this defense. They didn't need a whole lot of help on offense, obviously. They picked up Hayden Hurst to replace C.J. Uzomah when he left. You guys let me know what you think, and I'm just focusing on their defense right now. The personnel looks good. The pass rush, wasn't great last year overall, but there were times when it was awesome, and they got a badass pass rusher right here in this dude, Trey Hendrickson. I mean, he fits right in the AFC North with T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett. He's not on their level as far as an athlete, as far as reputation, but I think he had 14 sacks last year. I could be wrong. Maybe that number's wrong. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. I think incredibly highly of their defense. I focus on the Ravens, obviously, because that's my team, but I have to give respect where respect is due. The Cincinnati Bengals defense probably got better this weekend, and that's a scary thought when you combine that defense with the intelligence level that these guys on the back end are incredibly intelligent. Awuzie, Bates, Bell, Eli Apple, got to give him credit, incredibly intelligent. I don't know where 33 Trey Flowers is listed down here, fourth quarter. Fourth whatever. Words escape me at the moment. But they use him as a man-to-man defender on tight ends on third down. Real physical with Travis Kelce. Tried to be real physical with Mark Andrews on third downs. That's what they do with Trey Flowers. They bring him in. Now, in that first game against the Ravens in Week 7, Trey Flowers played a whole lot more because I think they had some other safeties hurt. Later on in the season, he settled into pretty much just like a dime role, I guess. Look, super, super high-level choices, if you ask me, by the Bengals. Daxton Hill was a 4.39 in high school, I believe. 4.38, and he's only gotten better in terms of technique, versatility off the charts. Cam Taylor-Britt, versatility off the charts. Scary, scary situation. The Ravens obviously got better, but the Bengals defense did too. The AFC North is going to be a gauntlet. It's sure as hell going to be a whole lot of fun to watch. You guys let me know what you think of the Bengals draft. Obviously, it's light on numbers. Only talking about 6 picks here. Now, they did have 3 through the first 3 rounds, and those 3 guys, if you ask me, makes their draft top-heavy, at least from what my knowledge base is. You guys let me know in the comment section what you think of their draft. I know I'm not showing any film of college guys here or any Bengals film. There'll be plenty of opportunities to do that in the offseason. Just speaking on different teams' drafts, and I'm consistently impressed with what the Bengals have done in the last 2.5 years.